So today, we're going to dive into some of the key ideas from Dr. Emily Morse's fantastic book, Smart Sex. We're talking about unlocking the secrets to a more fulfilling sex life.
Let's kick things off with a question that, let's be honest, probably a lot of us have asked at some point. Why is it that even when everything seems like it should be right, intimacy can just feel, well, complicated or totally out of reach?
Well, according to Dr. Morse, the key to truly extraordinary sex isn't just about the physical stuff. The real work and, the real reward, it actually starts in our minds.
All right, so let's get right into it by figuring out what the actual problem is. Dr. Morse has this great name for these roadblocks. She calls them the pleasure thieves. These are the emotional barriers that get between you and your pleasure. She boils it down to three main culprits that just hijack our ability to connect and really experience pleasure. It's a pretty powerful trio: stress from our crazy daily lives, trauma from our past, and shame, which can sneak in from all sorts of places, like society or how we were raised. And look, these aren't just some vague feelings we're talking about. These are powerful forces that can put our entire nervous system on high alert, which makes it almost impossible to relax and feel pleasure. Just being able to name them is the first huge step to taking back control. Okay, so if those are the bad guys, how do we actually fight back and reclaim our pleasure? Well, this brings us to the core solution in the book, this whole idea of boosting your sex IQ. This is where she introduces a concept she calls sex IQ, and it is the key to unlocking better intimacy. It's not about how many positions you know or anything like that. It's about a deep personal understanding of your own sexuality. A really great way to get your head around this is to think of it like emotional intelligence, or EQ. Just like EQ helps you understand and navigate your feelings, sex IQ helps you navigate your desires, your boundaries, and what truly, genuinely brings you pleasure. And here's what's so cool about this idea. It's not just some abstract theory. Dr. Morris gives us a really clear, actionable framework that's built on 5 distinct pillars. First up, we have embodiment. This one is all about getting out of your head and actually into your body. It means learning to be truly present and listening to what your body is telling you about pleasure, instead of just kind of numbing out. Pillar number 2 is health. And yeah, this one just makes a ton of sense, right? Our sexual well-being is completely connected to our overall physical and mental health, everything from what we eat and how we move to our hormonal balance. Then we've got pillar number 3, collaboration. Because let's face it, great sex is rarely a one-person show. It's all about intentional communication and a real conscious exchange of energy with your partner to build that intimacy and arousal together. Exactly. This pillar is all about seeing it as a shared journey of discovery, not some kind of finish line you have to cross. It's about creating something awesome together through connection and talking it out. All right, moving on to the 4th pillar, self-knowledge. Think of this as your personal research and development phase. Taking the time to really understand your own desires, what turns you on, and what your triggers are, all without any judgment. And here's why that matters so much. Knowing yourself is what gives you the confidence to actually communicate. When you're crystal clear on what you want and need, you can actually ask for it, which leads to way more satisfying experiences for everyone. And finally, we have what might be the most crucial pillar of all, self-acceptance. This is all about embracing your full sexual self, your past, your unique desires, your identity, and just letting go of all that shame that can hold you back. So you identify the thieves, you start building up these 5 pillars. What's the end game? What's the goal here? Well, it leads to the ultimate goal of this entire framework. See, when you're consistently putting in a little work on each of these areas, embodiment, health, collaboration, self-knowledge, and self-acceptance, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping for better sex. You are actively building the foundation for it. Look, if there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this idea: great sex is not some talent you're born with. It's a skill. And that's so empowering, right? It means you have the power to create the sex life you truly want. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. The point isn't to become an expert in all 5 pillars overnight. It's just about starting somewhere. So take a look. Which one of these feels like the right place for you to start today?